Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining us again for another track knowledge sharing session. Um, we want to acknowledge that we are living and working in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and just want to say a huge thank you for the opportunity to live and learn in this beautiful land together. And today we are zooming in with our friends at Le Village Historique Acadien, way down in Pubnico. It's about a 3 hour drive from Halifax, maybe a bit more. And we're going to talk with them about what they have going on. So I'm going to toss it over to you two, and maybe you can introduce yourselves and introduce Le Village to anyone who doesn't know about it.
All right. Well, le village historique acadien de la Nouvelle-Écosse, otherwise known as the historic Acadian village of Nova Scotia, is, as you said, in Lower West Pubnico, and it is a period village that is a living village, so you can come visit interpreters that are in period costume within the village, and we represent the deportation time. So, well, obviously after 1755, but mostly between 1890 and 1910s. So that's where we live. Well, the time that we live. Yeah, we are here in Lower West Pubnico.
Great.
We missed a whole lot of stuff there.
Well, and I think the only thing we missed is who are you and what are your roles?
Right. Actually, an interesting thing that reminded me when you gave the land acknowledgement is that we here in Lower West Pubnico, we still call this place Pumku, Opabumku. And my grandfather, even my dad, who's in his late 70s, we will say we're in Pumku. So we were taught this, by the Mi'kmaq that we're living here, and we still call it that. So people even from Clara will call this place Pumku, and all of us know where it is. So yeah, we definitely share that. So my name is Pierrette d'Entremont, and I am the program director here at the village. And
I'm Cathy d'Entremont. I'm the director of the day camp.
There are many d'Entremonts here. There really are. Yes. Our first d'Entremont came here in 1653. His name was Philippe Mies d'Entremont. Grandson Benoni d'Entremont was deported, and at a later date he came back with a few other Acadians, and basically we're still here. So that's the line of the d'Entremonts. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. So the reason we wanted to talk was because of this very cool summer camp program and day camp that you have going on. So I think the first question that I have right off the top is what inspired you to launch a summer camp program at the museum?
The summer camp program was started or was suggested by community members as a good idea for involving youth and in connecting the youth with their culture. So it's in the beginning, they were focused more with the local schools and the conseil, the CSAP. As we have developed and there have been more and more children interested, we've opened up to immersion programs as well as all of the CSAP. So now we have children that are coming in from all over the province. And it's basically for them to connect with the Acadian culture, oftentimes their roots. And it's also a really fun time to do things that are not, iPad intensive, maybe, in the summertime.
Right. Were there a lot of other like local camp programs, or was this like a need in the community that was coming out?
Partially a need, definitely a need for the the francophone, the French language, there
Mm.
is a day camp that is run by the municipality that's more of a like a daily recreation kind of day camp.
Oh, right.
But
Yep.
there's nothing like this.
Cool. So what does a typical day at camp look like?
Well, in the morning, when the kids get there, the first thing they usually do is their morning chores. So they'll collect wood for the houses here, empty the chamber pots in the houses, which is always very exciting for them. Feed the animals. Oh,
We have some yellow food dye that the interpreters tend to put in the chamber pots. And
Oh,
one
fun.
time we've gotten one interpreter who's lovely, mischievous, and she put a chocolate bar in it. Yeah, but it's really funny. It's always great to see them do that, and the tourists love it because a lot
Yeah.
of them will remember, or
Using the
say,
chamber
like,
pots,
oh my
right?
gosh, they're doing it. They're really emptying chamber pots. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they like really excited, or are some of them sort of grossed out by it, or they just think it's funny?
I mean, many are grossed out. Like,
Yeah.
but once they get over their fear, they're usually like, okay, let's just get this over with.
That's pretty good. So they start off with chores, and then where do they go from there? Or are they costumed? Like your interpreters are costumed? They are? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. They
Monday.
Monday.
I think so.
They yeah, they pick out their costumes in the morning on Monday, on the first day.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, oh dear. They
There are a lot of things different days, I think.
yeah.
Right?
Like some of the activities that they do are they wash the laundry with like a washing board
Yeah.
and learn how to make candles and butter, and they make the galette blanche, the tea biscuit. And they make jam, and they pick the gooseberries to make the jam, and they play a lot of games, period games, like cards and marbles and stuff, and mainly they just run around outside.
That sounds like so much fun. Like a
They
summer
feed the
camp of make
cows.
believe.
They pick I think they go and retrieve the eggs.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Just named the pigs yesterday. So the school program that comes, they vote or they give names, like choices of names, and
Oh, yeah.
we had this many,
Wow.
including Peppa, Mudbud, Bacon, Oreo, and then all kinds of like really cute ones. So anyway, we have Bernadette and Bernard, who are our new little piggies as of
Yeah.
yesterday. So day camp will go visit them as well. But it's the school kids that choose
That choose the name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. It's those nice little touches though, right? That gets the kids' attention and interest, right? Like, oh,
Yeah.
I picked the name. Like, we did
Yes.
that. This is like
Yes.
they listened to us. That's so
Yeah.
important for kids. Yeah.
And they also
So,
get a free family pass. So the class that like chose the name that was chosen,
yeah.
we send an email with each student, and they have a family pass so they can bring their family to meet their pigs
Oh,
in the
that's so
summertime.
lovely.
And we get a lot of them that
I
come
bet.
to visit. And I brought Gromere, or yeah.
Yeah.
what class was this?
Oh, it's Belleville's 5e.
Okay, I know why they're named Bernadette. One of the plays, one of the characters is named
Oh,
Bernadette,
is it?
and the kids in that class.
Yeah, and yeah.
The kids in
Ah,
that class.
Yeah, it's true.
oh,
Bernadette was walking to Yarmouth, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, okay. Makes sense.
very cool. It all comes back to summer camp.
Yeah, totally. Oh, they come in and they have these puppets on the wall, for 3 years now at least, and one is named George. And anyway, so the school kids will come in and they're like, oh, George is on the wall still.
George is always on
And
the list.
George is always on the list, so we've got a whole bunch of them. George. Yeah.
Very cool.
George.
Very nice.
And every week we do a play. So they get to work on a play for a week.
Oh, cool. So do you do like the same play with them or different plays? What would be an example of a play?
There are a few different plays. One of them, I think all of them were written here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've all been written here, and one of them is based on a true story.
Yeah.
And we have a big amphitheater, so on Friday, their clubhouse is a wing of the amphitheater.
Okay.
So on Fridays, they'll invite their parents, grandparents, and some community members and tourists that are there to do the little play. But we have a new one this year, a play. Everybody's kind of pitching in with different materials, because we all need to have props from that fit little people. So yeah, we have to go and ask the interpreters next week to get their things done. I'm not going to say anything about the play, though.
Okay.
You'll have to come see it.
That's a good tease. We'll have to come down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun. I have a 7-year-old, and I can see that she would absolutely love something like that. She loves visiting her aunt who has a little hobby farm and collecting the eggs and feeding the cows and like all of those fun things, because it's not normal anymore, right? Or at least like in the city for sure. Not something you get to do. That's so cool.
Here is not normal either.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, you don't have
farms.
Yeah, some people have little hobby farms or but not a lot. And the fishing is so different.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean we have a lobster boat here from one of the that has one of the first engines, but when we show this boat, it's tiny. It's so tiny compared to what they're used to. And often because they're local, they'll know either a parent or a grandparent or an uncle or someone that has a fishing boat. So to them it's like, oh my gosh, how did they survive on this?
So what's the age group for camp?
Grade 2.
The grades, grade 2 to 6.
Yeah.
Grade
2. Okay. So you have to be in grade 2 to in grade 5, going into grade 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you settled on that age range?
In the before times, 4 years ago, I think we switched. It was grade 3 to grade 6. Mm-hmm. But we found that the grade 6 going into grade 7 were going into like junior high. They were quite old and kind of too cool for school, kind of. So they were not getting as much out of it, I guess, as the younger ones. So the younger ones that are 6, 7 years old in grade 2, they're really interested. And it's a perfect time for an introduction to it, because they love, as you said, they love the animals. They want to learn about them because they don't know that yet. And going back a year on both sides, it seemed to be the right thing to do.
A better fit.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Sounds like a very good pivot. Yeah. Thinking of your staff, I know you've got a pretty good team at Le Village. So what do you find you need in terms of like staffing and different resources to run this program well?
For the staff of the camp, we began when it first began, we had a student that had been here a few years already as an interpreter, and she took over the role with 8 students. as time went on, there were more and more kids that were interested, and it was becoming more and more difficult for one person. So we added an assistant, and we increased the number to 10 people. So now we
Okay.
can have 10 children per week, and a director and an assistant director. That seems to work for the day camp quite well. Yes, we have our first full-time assistant director, Raina, who's starting this summer. So other
Oh,
summers
cool.
they would do, she was doing 3 days, I think, and somebody else was doing a few hours, but this time, yeah, they're both full-time, and yeah, it'll be good. They can do a
That'll
lot.
be easier. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So how many kids are going through this?
10 kids a week
10 kids
for
a
Yeah.
week.
8 weeks.
Yeah, roughly 80. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We still have a
That's
few spots, but really not much at this point.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're usually almost full. It's very difficult for parents and families to kind of I mean, I'm saying it's very difficult. It's if you're hoping to come and visit, you need to have a place to stay if you're from away. The
Right.
local children is not as difficult, but yeah, we have quite a few coming from like Clare or other CSAP schools, and sometimes they'll have to stay at a grandpa's or somewhere like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
they do though. There are Airbnbs, and it's a good vacation as well.
That's a pretty cool vacation to have. What's the farthest someone has come from for it?
Alberta, I think. We've
No
got,
way.
yeah, because they have a grandparent here. So I think it's the second summer. It's the second summer that they're coming, and they've scheduled the child to be able to be here for a week. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That would be such a memorable vacation. Wow. So clearly people love the program. What if you had to describe like what the response has been from local families, from communities? What kind of feedback are you hearing from people?
You get it like from the parents when they come back to pick up their kids, or the next morning.
They're usually thankful that they're tired and not going to be running around. So
I can relate to that. Yep.
yeah. Oh, they're gonna sleep tonight. We've had a lot of parents say, "Oh my gosh, they have no iPad." Yeah, like no zero iPad for a week,
Yeah.
and so there's no video games, no phones, all manual stuff, like not even electricity. So you're playing with wooden boats,
Hmm.
croquet, learning all this stuff, and the community seems to find value in that, I guess.
I can see that.
Hopefully
Yeah.
the kids do too.
Yeah.
But I mean, even inadvertently, I think the kids learn something that they don't think they will. Like, what kid expects to go salt fish?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, maybe you go fishing one time with a friend and you remember, oh, I made my own fishing rod out of a stick. And you're like, they do stuff like that because there's time. They have
Yeah.
time to play.
Yeah. I can see that. What about the kids? Like, are they shy in giving feedback or like expressing the fun they're having or anything like that? How are they responding?
uh, well, at this point, I know most of them for years,
Yeah.
so they're not shy at all.
That's good.
And yeah, I mean, they're always happy to be here, and if they're not, they tell me. But
What's the best? What do they like? Like, I mean, I know they're all different, but like, what seems to be the thing they like the most? I know the cows.
yeah, I was gonna say the cows, but I mean, they always enjoy. I was gonna say they always enjoy making butter, but I'm sure they always enjoy eating the butter that they make.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
more than making it, but they're always excited about, you know, everything. Really.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, when are we gonna make the candles, or when are we gonna, you know, pick gooseberries? And for the kids that are new and it's their first time, they're like, what's this? What's this? Oh my gosh, all this stuff I don't know yet.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
yeah.
So it sounds like you have a lot of like repeat customers, or however you want to say that, right? Like kids keep coming back once they experience it,
Yeah.
you're going to see them again.
Yeah. It seems like grade 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6. And then after grade 6, oftentimes we get an email from a parent saying, do you need volunteers?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So is that a thing? People can volunteer to help out with the camp, or with Le Village as a whole, you mean?
We have a few days that they can dress up in costumes that are a little bit older, and they will come. Like we have a day of a teddy bear picnic, and they can come and kind of help because there's a lot of children around.
Mhm.
Apart from that, we always, I mean, it's always great to have volunteers. I think they really like being able to like dress up and help out in the camp.
Mhm.
They're definitely familiar with how it runs and stuff.
Yeah.
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 That makes me feel like this is a really good recipe for sustainability for the museum as well, right? Like you've got a whole generation that are kind of taking ownership of the place and the space and the activities and the culture, and like want to, it's their museum, right? Like
Yeah. Oh
that
yeah.
level of comfort.
Oh yeah. When they come with their school, we know this year Kati was in university her first year, so that meant she started in May rather than in July with
Right.
everybody else. So when the children come for our school program, they sew and the Madame Kati, and because of that, they will know where they're going. So the children that come here will, okay, guys, slow down. You know, everybody walk behind us because they know where they're going to go.
Right.
And they're familiar with the pigs. They're familiar. Oh my gosh, is Alexis back? That's
Yeah.
Alexis. I know Alexis. Hi, Alexis. This is our female cow, the oldest cow. So yeah,
Right.
they definitely have that. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so,
Explain the cow because every morning that's one of their chores, and I think it's the one they love.
Yeah, they feed the cows every morning, and often when we're like we have to walk past them every morning to get to the amphitheater, and she'll just yell at us, moo at us until we feed her.
that's so funny. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. No wonder they love her then.
Absolutely. We're like, oh, she's yelling at you and she's talking to you. And yeah, they go and get this big, really nice push. You'd love it. We have this amazing cart that's just pulls. It's 150 years old, but it works perfectly to put the hay in, and the kids go two at a time, and then they chuck it. And yeah, everybody takes photos because it's cute. And yeah, the cows love the kids. Like, yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm picturing all of it in my head. I'm like, man, gotta come down and see this. That's so cool.
Yeah, we have one day camp from Claire that is
Mhm.
coming on a day that they will be able to meet and see all the day camp kids do their day camp stuff. So
Oh,
they are
cool.
coming, and it's just a day camp, like a regular recreation day camp, and they're
Yeah.
coming in July. No, sorry, in August. And we've planned it so that they'll arrive around 10, which is when they can do all their chores, and then they
Oh,
can
yeah.
meet the kids, meet each other, I guess. So that'll be fun. I'm telling you this now for the first time.
By the way, this is
Good to know.
happening.
Yeah, good to know.
That's so cool. Um, so I think like it just sounds so neat, and it sounds like it's going really well. Have you had any like unexpected outcomes, like maybe, new partnerships, or you're developing new audiences, seeing people come to the village who have never come before, new ideas come forward? Like what were some surprises as you got the day camp or as you got the summer camp rolling? What surprised you about it?
The amount of costumes that we go through, because the children are really active, and when you wash a costume over and over, you have to replace it.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of bringing home costumes with rips in and fixing them. I
Yeah.
mean, that's not exactly an outcome, but we did notice that happens. And we need a lot of socks and stuff because we will
Go through
go
them.
through a lot of them. Yeah. Lycéus AP has, at first we had the three schools that were nearby. So
Mhm.
that's is Pimlico, Wedgeport, and Belleville. But now it's increased to all the immersion schools, and it was their reaching out first, or the
Oh,
parents,
interesting.
some of the parents from the immersion,
Yeah.
reaching out first because before we went to them, because we can possibly fill up with the local schools.
Mhm.
And we've always had, a few little holes here and there, and they really seem interested in that.
Mhm.
And that was good, like good to see, because some, yes, they have Acadian roots that are coming, but some are, people that not necessarily are Acadian, but are coming in like our CMP officers, or people
Right.
that have their children in immersion that just have an interest, and
Yeah.
that's definitely good. Yes, we've gone to the musée a few times. Oh, we have a
Mhm.
Model T and a Model T driver. So
Ooh.
Laurent D'Entremont is our Model T driver. He comes
Once a week.
Yeah, he comes once a week, and we've got our Model T that's kind of like a truck, and people and the kids go in and they can have a ride. But he
Yeah.
also has a model, I don't know what it is, Model M, maybe, and it looks more like a bus, and he can try, he'll this one can go on the road, so he picks up the kids and they go all the way to the musée, and
Yeah.
visit Bernice at the musée to, have whatever days. So yeah, that's kind of neat that we can
That's pretty
go
cool.
there, and they're all dressed à temps, so it's interesting for the tourists visiting the musée to have
Yeah.
these kids around. Yeah.
That sounds great. That's great that you can tap in with other, yeah, other
Mhm.
museum that's nearby, and that's so cool. Um, so I've got the big final question, which you may or may not have been expecting, is I'll give context first. We hear from a lot of museums that they don't feel like they have a solid program that they can offer for kids, or they might have like a few activities for kids that visit, but a summer camp, absolutely not. But there's a lot of interest and there's a lot of curiosity around how to develop, how to start thinking about developing either like day camp program, some kind of kids program that's more formal. So if you were to think about how you manage this program and its success and all the fun stuff that happens, what advice would you give to a museum that says like, oh, this sounds great. I wish we had something like this, but we have no idea where to start. What would you tell them?
I realize funding is an issue, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, if you do have the budget, it's a lot easier. But for us, we've had to tap into municipal grants.
Mm-hmm.
The second language program of the government has been quite helpful to us. Volunteers have been invaluable to make the original costumes. It took a
Mm-hmm.
lot of time, so if you have volunteers, that's always very helpful. And back to basics would be I'd say a project planning session, and start writing things from the beginning, what you have and what you need. So your program director or your employees that you have, are there any that could be kind of taken out of rotation to put there, or do you need someone new?
Right.
Do you need a student grants to have that? What does the programming look like? How long do you want this day to be? For us, it's 10 to 3. From 9 to 10 is we get ready. From 3 to 4, they clean up everything. So how long do you want your day, your day to be? What does lunch look like? Do they bring their lunches? We have a cafe here. Can they eat? Is that provided?
I mean, here, like, community has been so important because we're such a small town and everyone knows each other, and that
Yeah.
was such a good, like, jumping off point to have so many people willing to help and that wanted this to happen.
So when you were doing your planning, did you invite community to come in as part of that planning process, or like you did stuff at the village first and then reached out? How did that work?
I was not here at the time, though I do know that it was a project that was pitched by a community member who was
Oh, cool.
part of the Conseil scolaire acadien de la Nouvelle-Écosse, so provincial, so the CSAP. And essentially it was a summer camp that would how do you say immerse children that are usually throughout the year in the CSAP. In the summertime, they will lose a lot of their French. They don't use it as much. The culture is not really apparent in a lot of the other places that you might go as a day camp. And this was part of it.
Okay.
The community pitched in after that. And we had interpreters that volunteered as well because they know what the costumes should look like. And some of them are amazing sewers. So our first costumes, which is a big expense, were all sewn by hand by volunteers.
Wow.
And yeah, that cut a lot of the cost and saved a lot of time. I'm not sure if that's helpful to somebody else starting, but if you have volunteers, they're obviously invaluable.
I think that's helpful, even just like sending the message of being open to those kinds of ideas that get pitched from the community, right? Like that's a key part of this, right? So no, I think that's very helpful. Lots of good advice in there, nuggets of wisdom in that. Yeah.
Yeah. We still get Laurel. Laurel is one of our interpreters that was here for a long time, and she's retired from being an interpreter. But she'll come in and do, an hour or two with the children and go through the village and show them plants. And I think they went picking and made some tea all through the village. So, they're still there helping out, which is great.
Yeah. Sometimes having like such a focused volunteer opportunity can be really helpful, right? Instead of putting out a call and just saying like, hey, the museum needs some volunteers, who wants to sign up? Being able to say, hey, we need help with the summer camp and here's what we need. Like that's, I can see that will get more responses for sure.
Raina, actually. Raina was one of the when you started, Raina was she in?
Yeah, she was in it.
Yeah, so her assistant when she started, was one of the day camp kids.
Oh, cool.
And last year she was doing 3 days a week, and now she's the one full time. So, once you're washed up, then we have, she's only in grade 11.
Rena?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have some time with her, but she did volunteer, and she was you know, in grade 9, how many people can say that you've got volunteers? I mean, don't get me wrong, we still need a ton of volunteers. That
Yeah.
is really hard to find for a lot of other things, but the fact that the day camp kids are growing out of it and are
And then
wanting to
volunteering.
when they can
Mm,
it's really nice, not just for the day camp, but as you said, sustainability of the actual village.
yeah,
It's great. Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, who has a volunteer in grade 9? Like that's
I know. I mean,
not usual.
no, it's not normal. And I mean, obviously after grade 12, you never know, they might end up in like, New York. But
Mm,
it's good regardless.
I mean,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
already had kids that have grown out of it or that are still in it and gonna grow out of it soon that have asked me about volunteering and about how old do you have to be to work here and stuff like that. So
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a fantastic sign that it's working. Yeah. So how many years, if you have people now who are moving into like volunteer or even staff roles, how many years has the camp been going on?
because I was in 6th grade when it started.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 8 years. So we're going into our 8th year.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, this just all sounds so good. And I think this is so helpful, like I said, for other museums that don't have a lot of kids programs to just hear about like, hey, here's something that's happening. Um, you can do this. It's a lot of work, obviously, but yeah, very inspiring.
We have things like we kind of branched into from schools to the day camp, but
Mhm.
little things that would be doable for someone that or a place that can't do the full day. Like we have
Mhm.
these one-off activities. So on Mondays we do a whole washboard wash and you learn how to do that and they go put it on the line. Well, that would be a weekly activity that
Right.
that people could kind of sign up for and come and do. Okay, uh on Monday, whatever, for an hour, you could bring
Yeah.
your kid and then
Join
they
us for
do it
wash
every
day.
Monday and yeah, you like just do something like that with the candles.
Yeah.
Even during COVID, you had like videos.
That's true, yeah. We did have a few videos during COVID because we could not have day camp. So we did
Mhm.
a few videos and they are online right now under our YouTube channel, I think.
Oh, cool.
Well, I mean,
We'll
it's
link
not
to
as
those.
cool as being here,
Yeah.
but there are little things like that that you could do
Yeah.
that might work, yeah.
It just sounds really wonderful to me. Like I said, I want to come and see it. And yeah, my daughter would want to join in.
Yeah, people do want that, and adults as well. We have a picture we have this big sign on the wall saying no photographs, day
Yeah.
camp is in progress, just because we have had so many people really come up close, take
Mhm.
photos. We say right when they come in at the
Yeah.
thing, there's a day camp in progress and please don't take
Yeah.
photos of it, and we need to have the parents sign that it is okay or not
Mhm.
okay,
Yep.
whether their children are photographed. Obviously, that would be part of any day camp, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing you need to know about in a day camp, especially in a setting like this, that there are many tourists around and they will always want to take photos because your kids are really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, ladies, thank you so, so much for chatting with me. It was great to learn more about what you're doing down there. And like I said, I think this is going to be really inspiring to the other museums in the province, but also, whoever else finds it online as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we look forward to hearing more about summer camp and everything else that you're doing at Le Village.
Very good. Thank you for your interest.
All right. Thanks.
Okay.
Have a wonderful day down there.